The approach. The void between stars held no warmth, only the cold calculations of empire. Aboard the command vessel Eternal Dominance, High Commander Zex Terrell watched the holographic display of their next target with 6 narrowed eyes. Earth, a blue-green world spinning in isolation, rich with resources, and populated by a species that had barely stretched beyond their own moon. Pathetic, Zex Terrell whispered, his scaled fingers tapping against the crystalline command console. How many worlds does this make? Strategist Vril, her exoskeleton gleaming under the ambient light of the bridge, consulted her datapad. This would be the 347th conquest for the Cavorin Empire in the last solar cycle, High Commander. The Cavorin Empire had spread across 3 spiral arms of the galaxy over millennia. Their technological supremacy was unquestioned, their military might unmatched. Where the Cavorin went, subjugation followed. It was the natural order. The strong consumed the weak. And what can you tell me about these humans? The High Commander's voice carried the boredom of routine. Primitive by our standards, High Commander. They've achieved nuclear fission, basic space travel within their system, and global communication networks. Their military capabilities are fractured by national boundaries. They pose no significant threat to our forces. Zex Terrell nodded. Just another insignificant species to add to the Empire's collection. Prepare the invasion fleet. Standard protocol. Overwhelming force. No survivors in the resistance centers. As you command, Vril said, transmitting orders through the neural network. From the massive hangar bays of the Cavorin motherships, thousands of warships deployed. Each one could level a city. Together, they could reduce continents to ash. The invasion armada moved through space with practiced precision, a dark cloud of destruction heading toward the unsuspecting blue world. Or so they thought. Deep within the monitoring stations of Earth's combined defense network, alarms blared. Dr. Eliza Chen stared at her screens in disbelief. "That's impossible," she whispered. Then louder, "General, you need to see this." General Marcus Washington strode across the underground facility, his weathered face illuminated by the glow of monitors. "What am I looking at, Doctor?" "We've detected a massive fleet approaching from beyond Neptune's orbit. They're not ours. They're not anything we've ever seen before." The general's face remained impassive, but his eyes betrayed the gravity of the situation. Humanity had long theorized about alien life, prepared for the possibility of contact, but nothing on this scale. "How long do we have?" Dr. Chen's fingers flew across her keyboard. "At their current velocity, approximately 72 hours before they reach Earth." The general nodded once. "Alert the Security Council. Initiate Protocol Omega." Within hours, the leaders of Earth's nations gathered in emergency session. For once, old rivalries were set aside in the face of an existential threat. After brief deliberation, a unanimous decision was reached. They would activate the Guardian. The Guardian was humanity's greatest secret, a defense system decades in the making, hidden from the public and from space observation. Born from recovered alien technology after the Roswell incident in 1947, it represented humanity's insurance policy against cosmic threats. In a facility buried deep beneath the Antarctic ice, Dr. Chen stood before a quantum interface unlike anything publicly known to exist on Earth. "Are we certain about this?" asked the UN Secretary General, who had flown in for this crucial moment. "Once activated, there's no going back." Dr. Chen nodded. "If these readings are correct, we're facing a technologically superior invasion force. The Guardian is our only chance." With authorization codes from a dozen nations, the system came online. A pulse of energy, invisible to conventional detection, rippled outward from Earth at superluminal speed. Aboard the Eternal Dominance, the first indication that something was wrong came when the long-range sensors flickered. Strategist Vril frowned at her console. "High Commander, we're detecting an anomalous energy signature from the target planet." Zex Terrell dismissed the concern with a wave of his hand. Probably detected our approach and are panicking. Any primitive defensive measures? No, sir. But, Vril hesitated. We're receiving a transmission. It's directed specifically at you. Put it through, Zex Terrell ordered, expecting pleas for mercy or offers of surrender. Instead, a simple text message appeared on the main view screen, translated into perfect Cavorin script. High Commander ZEX TRAL. We know who you are. We know dodi wiki. Wo you've done. Turn back now. The bridge fell silent. The message was impossible. No one outside the Empire should know the High Commander's name. No one should know their language. No one should be able to penetrate their communication systems. How did they? Zex Terrell began, but stopped as the screen changed. Now displayed was a complete schematic of the eternal dominance. Every deck, every weapon system, every weakness. Following it were the personal files of every officer on the command bridge, including information that was classified even within the Empire. Impossible, strategist Vril whispered. Our encryption is unbreakable. Zex Terrell's mandibles clicked in agitation. Scan the planet again. Full spectrum. The results came back moments later, and they made no sense. Earth's technology level had somehow been drastically underestimated. Or perhaps deliberately hidden. A second message appeared. This is your HFY earning. The next demonstration will NOTB digital. The High Commander's pride warred with his growing sense of unease. In 3 centuries of military service, he had never encountered anything like this. How could a species that had barely reached their own moon penetrate the Empire's most secure systems? What else might they be capable of? Strategist Vril, halt the fleet's advance. Maintain position at the edge of this system. High Commander. Vril questioned, shocked by the order. Do it now. Zex Terrell snapped. Something is wrong here. Very wrong. As the invasion fleet hung suspended in the void, the officers of the Eternal Dominance waited in uneasy silence. High Commander Zex Terrell stared at the image of Earth on the view screen, this seemingly insignificant blue world that had somehow reached out and touched his most secure systems. For the first time in his long career of conquest, Zex Terrell felt something unfamiliar stirring in his chest. It took him a moment to recognize it. Fear. The revelation. 3 days passed with the Cavorin fleet holding position at the edge of the solar system. High Commander Zex Terrell had ordered continuous scans of Earth, searching for any explanation of the impossible message they had received. The results only deepened the mystery. Nothing makes sense, strategist Vril reported, frustration evident in her normally composed demeanor. One moment our scans show a primitive civilization with rudimentary technology. The next we detect energy signatures that rival our own power plants. It's as if they're flickering between technological states. Zex Terrell had spent those 3 days reviewing the Empire's conquest protocols. Nothing in their millennia of expansion had prepared them for this situation. His pride demanded action, but his instinct for survival urged caution. The Council of Elders is demanding an explanation for the delay. Sub-Commander Raltek informed him. They expect the human world to be under our control by now. Zex Terrell's inner eyelids flickered in annoyance. Tell the Council that tactical considerations require a revised approach. And what approach would that be, High Commander? Vril asked. After a moment of contemplation, Zex Terrell made his decision. We proceed with the invasion as planned. Full combat deployment. Whatever tricks these humans have, they cannot stand against the might of our entire fleet. The order spread through the armada. Thousands of warships reactivated their engines, moving toward Earth in attack formation. Fighter squadrons launched, weapon systems powered up, and invasion troops prepared for planetfall. Back on Earth, Dr. Chen monitored the approaching fleet with grim determination. They're coming, she announced to the assembled military leaders. They didn't heed our warning. General Washington nodded solemnly. Then we have no choice. Activate Phase 2. Throughout Earth's history, humanity had been divided by borders, ideology, and religion. But there was one thing they had always excelled at: adaptation. When the Roswell craft crashed in 1947, it wasn't just technology that was recovered, but knowledge. Knowledge that humanity was not alone in the universe, and that some of what lurked among the stars was hostile. For decades, nations had worked in secret, incorporating the alien technology into Earth's defenses while maintaining a facade of normal technological progression. The greatest scientists of multiple generations had dedicated their lives to understanding and improving upon the recovered systems, all while keeping Earth's true capabilities hidden from watchful eyes above. As the Cavorin fleet crossed the orbit of Mars, Dr. Chen initiated the Guardian's defensive protocols. Across Earth, hidden installations activated. From beneath the oceans, from mountain bunkers, and from orbital platforms disguised as communication satellites, Earth's true defenses revealed themselves. On the bridge of the Eternal Dominance, alarms blared. "High Commander," Vril called out, her voice tight with disbelief. "We're detecting massive energy spikes from the planet." Zexteril leaned forward. "Show me." The view screen displayed Earth, but now the planet was surrounded by a web of energy signatures that hadn't been there moments before. Installations that had been invisible to their scans suddenly appeared on the surface and in orbit. "Impossible," Zexteril whispered. "They couldn't have built all this without us detecting it." A third message appeared on their screens. "You were warned. Now witness." From Earth's surface, hundreds of energy beams lanced upward, converging at points throughout near-Earth orbit. Where they met, space itself seemed to twist. Portals opened, gateways unlike anything in even Cavorin technology. And through these portals came ships. Not human ships, but vessels of designs from a dozen different alien civilizations. Some the Cavorin recognized from ancient records of species long thought extinct. "What is this?" Zexteril demanded, rising from his command chair. Before anyone could answer, their sensors detected something else, a signal originating from Earth, broadcasting on all frequencies, not directed at the Cavorin, but outward, toward distant stars. The message was simple, encoded in a mathematical language universal to all advanced civilizations. "The sanctuary is being threatened. The compact is invoked." Strategist Vril's exoskeleton paled. "High Commander, I've accessed our ancestral archives. There are legends from before the Empire, stories of a world that served as a sanctuary for species fleeing from conquest, a world protected by a coalition of the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy." "Myths," Zexteril sneered, but without conviction. "Our long-range sensors are detecting massive gravitational distortions throughout the system," the sensor officer reported. "Something is coming. Many somethings." Zexteril watched as the view screen showed new contacts appearing at the edges of the solar system. Hundreds of ships, then thousands, materializing from faster-than-light travel. Ships of designs never recorded in Cavorin databases, all converging on Earth's position. For the first time in its history, the Cavorin Empire faced a force that dwarfed its own. A new message appeared, this time on all screens throughout the invasion fleet. "Earth is under the protection of the Galactic Compact. You have violated sanctuary space. Withdraw immediately or be destroyed." Zexteril sank back into his command chair, the full reality of their situation becoming clear. Earth wasn't simply a primitive world that had somehow developed advanced technology. It was something far more significant, a protected planet, a sanctuary where the knowledge and technology of countless civilizations was preserved. The humans weren't just another species to be conquered. They were caretakers of a cosmic legacy, guardians of knowledge gathered from across the galaxy. "High Commander," Vril said quietly, "the invasion force awaits your command." Zexteril stared at the approaching armada of unknown ships. The Cavorin Empire had conquered hundreds of worlds through superior force and technology. But here now, they were outmatched in both. "Order the fleet to stand down," he said finally. "Prepare for immediate withdrawal from this system." "And what do we tell the Council of Elders?" Raltek asked. Zexteril's eyes narrowed. "The truth, that we have discovered something far more valuable than a conquered world. We have discovered the existence of the Galactic Compact, a power that predates even our empire. Knowledge that will reshape our understanding of the cosmos." As the Cavorin fleet began its retreat, a final message came through, this time as an audio transmission in the High Commander's private quarters. The voice was human, female. "High Commander Zexteril, this is Dr. Eliza Chen of Earth. We regret the deception, but it was necessary. Earth has served as a sanctuary for knowledge and refugees from across the galaxy for millennia. We are not warriors by nature, but protectors. Remember what you've seen here today. Tell your empire that Earth wishes for peace, but is prepared for any alternative. The choice of your future relationship with the Compact is yours to make." The transmission ended, leaving Zexteril alone with his thoughts. The Empire had existed for thousands of years, expanding without challenge. Today, that era had ended. They had encountered not just a new species, but a new reality, one where the Cavorin were not the apex predators of the galaxy. As the eternal dominance accelerated away from the Sol system, Zexteril made a personal log entry, encrypted for his eyes only. "Today marks a turning point for our empire. We have discovered that the galaxy is larger and more complex than we ever imagined. Earth was not the primitive world we thought, but the heart of something ancient and powerful. For the first time, the Cavorin Empire must consider the path of diplomacy rather than conquest. The humans have much to teach us, if we are wise enough to listen." The stars streaked past the viewports as the fleet entered faster than light travel. Behind them, Earth continued its serene orbit around its sun, a blue jewel in the darkness, far more than it appeared to be, just like its inhabitants.